Thank you both for taking some time out to chat with us
Sure.
about Natalie. She's a wonderful young lady. And I guess we'll just dive right into the questions. I know you've had a chance to look them over. Let's start out with what type of experiences did your child have and is having in the public school system right now, good and bad?
Overall, I'd say real positive. It probably took a little bit of time to adjust to it, both for her and for the school. But once the school realized that we were there and serious about her education, they really became our partner, and we made some great strides.
All right, what were some of the greatest challenges that Natalie faced in the classroom?
Not every teacher looks at a child with Down syndrome and says, oh yeah, they can listen. Oh yeah, they'll learn to read. Oh yeah, they can follow a rule. They can sit still and pay attention. Not every teacher has that mindset. But I think every teacher at her school does now. I think they got that, yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, so that was a major hurdle to overcome. And like Tim said, they realized we were there, we weren't going anywhere. We were going to work with them. We didn't want to battle against them. We wanted to work with them.
What kind of classroom
And,
is she in? Is it an inclusion classroom or?
She starts out in an inclusion homeroom, and then during different classes she'll go to AA, but she does a lot of classes with typical kids.
Okay.
And that was different at Honey, at her elementary school. They had not participated in that model before, but that was something that we were really urged to do by her preschool teacher. In everything that we had done with Natalie, whether it was church or the CDRC at Tech, the Child Development Research Center at Tech, she was always around typical kids. Rich verbal environment, lots of high expectations from the parents on the part of those children. So that's where we always wanted her. And as she became into more of an academic setting there at her preschool, we were blessed to have a teacher that totally agreed with that, wanted her in a typical environment with other typical kids, not set apart, not in a self-contained environment. So even though other children had gone before us and done that, nobody had asked that one particular thing that we had asked, and that was, we want Natalie included to the extent that she can be included in regular classes. And oh yeah, we want her to start and finish her day with her regular ed peers. Okay, because always before they had taken the children into what they call an academic adjustment class or a supported ed class, which is another level, and started their day and then shuttled them out into those regular ed classes as they could. Well, we kind of did it backwards. We had her in her regular ed class, and then when she needed more support, they would either have one of the teachers from AA come to help her, or she would go into AA for that class, whatever that class was, and then come back out and be with her regular group. So that was a little bit of a bump in the road, but we noticed through the years then other kids that were in AA started to end their day in the regular ed class.
It seems like a better system, really.
It allowed her to identify with her peer group better instead of a group, in this particular case, of K through 5th or 6th graders at that point that were in the academic adjustment class. That wasn't her peer group necessarily. Her regular ed class was her peer group. So that was a big change, and that was a hurdle, and it wound up working well for us.
And the school system was fine with that? Was it a battle at all?
It was a battle, just from a staff leader initially, but we had such good buy-in from the central office that came and supported us and said, this is what the parents want.
We kind of talked about this a little bit. What strategies did you and your child use to face these challenges and become successful?
But Mrs. Wagner was just such a key component in this, just a great paraprofessional that just bought into what her role was. She and I communicated daily, if not more than daily. She had my cell phone number, I have her cell phone number. If anything was going on that I needed to address, we would address it right then. And that, I feel like that is a real key too. You know, having a typical child, our son, and knowing that a lot of times teachers and administration will want to let things slide, see if they can figure it out, see if they can work things out on their own, not involve the parents. I don't agree. I think if there's a problem, get with the parent as soon as you can, because we may know, oh, she's doing this because of this. She's doing that there, oh, she better not be doing that there. You know, that kind of stuff. She knows better than to do that there. And so we had this daily communication log, which was what Natalie's doing right and what Natalie needs to work on. and we'd have to sign it every day. And we wanted to know the great things she was doing, and we wanted to know the things that needed to be addressed day by day. And so we kept this thing from first grade on. And I have a lot of those. I have a lot of those sheets. And Natalie knew that she was accountable, very, very accountable to us every day. She wasn't going to get by with anything. I mean, as the years went on, there were layer upon layer of people that knew her game and knew how we would respond to that game. And so that is a real strategy. Please communicate with those parents.
Mm-hmm.
Being around special needs children the way we have and their families, we know that there are parents out there that don't get involved. But don't assume they're not going to.
Mm-hmm.
Please give every parent a chance to be involved to the nth degree until they send you a big bold letter that says, stop calling me.
Stop sending me these letters home.
But give them a chance
You've had
to
positive
get the information
impact on
into
Natalie.
them.
And in what ways? How did they make a positive difference?
Who all do you want to talk about?
Most of them.
Yeah.
I mean, from the principal to the people in the cafeteria, the library, the art, all of our different homeroom teachers, and a lot of them just made special effort to let us know how. Well, first of all, she's a very loving kid, so they appreciated the love that she would give them. She's a big hugger, and so they all commented on that. But they always shared, her academic adjustment teacher. Not only did she have her for every year, but she was also the person that was in charge of the Special Olympics team at school. So we saw her a lot at school and a lot after school, and she put in a lot of time doing those extracurricular activities. But they were a huge benefit for us because we were able to do bowling and track and field, and we tried. Natalie was sharing so much time with her homeroom class and at lunch and stuff. They would go through the announcements every morning, and when the students would win an award or do something, their name would get mentioned, and everybody would give them, a round of applause sort of thing. Well, whenever the kids in Special Olympics came back with medals and stuff, their names got announced, and so they were always getting compliments and high fives from the other kids, and that was an important part of the social structure, so that she'd be able to build some friendships and keep them for years.
God, second, the red, roses, dry, name.
What is your dream for Natalie's future? What would you like to see her doing?
It changes all the time. We think someday she might be able to live in a supported kind of community. Definitely there. Okay. I'm not really sure that she could ever live by herself. She just is 12, but I think she's 7 or 8. And I don't know how much further she's going to go. She's going to go as far as I can carry her myself, and push her. But I just don't know if she'll ever be autonomous in that way. She has a lot of things that she's interested in. We were talking about it this morning after we got the questions, and trying to, get her to kind of fine tune. What is it that you want to do? And she said she wanted to be like me. So she wants to be a mom right now, but sometimes she wants to be a PE teacher, and sometimes she wants to be a swim coach, and
sometimes she wants to be a cook.
Yeah.
That's what she said earlier.
She will want to be in the community. She's very social, and I want her to be in the community and do something around people with special needs and people without special needs. So that's a dream for us. I do not want her home with any problem.
Yeah.
That's not a dream for us.
No, not at all. Not acceptable.
No.
Well, with her personality, I think she could do a lot. She's going to be popular wherever she goes. She's just so friendly and sweet. So
she's never met a stranger.
No.
That's good.
Two of the other things that are kind of one short term and one's long term is when we were out at the baseball field, you kind of saw the setup. And what they do in Challenger is, like Max has said, he's a buddy for Natalie and some of the other players out there, but a lot of times you'll have some kids out there that can really hammer the ball. And so part of the job of a buddy is to help a player after they hit the ball to get around all the bases and get home. Because some of the kids have different, walking abilities, and some of the kids in wheelchairs either want to do it themselves or they have somebody going with them to make sure they don't tip over and get around in time. But some of the kids out there that can really hit it, the other part of the buddy's job is to stand in front of the player so they don't get whacked with a line drive. And it's neat because when one of the heavy hitters come up, the coach from the other team or the umpire will say, "Buddies, cover up." Well, our goal is so that when Natalie bats, that they'll have to say, "Buddies, cover up," because we've been working on her hitting a bunch.
But she says that herself now.
Yeah, so she's not quite there yet. And then another goal is I'd like for her to be able to drive and get her driver's license.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if she'll. There are different times. Well, she'll express different interests, I guess, at different times. Some days she really wants to drive, and some days she's not that interested in it. But I'd like for her to be able to have the chance to at least take driver's ed and see if she can get some sort of license and go to college.